I mean, what you're saying is deja vu all over again, right?
Yep.
It just feels like we come back to the same topic every few years. Not a surprise that it's often tied to the time when we are starting to see an upswing in deals. The last time this did become a big issue was back during the pandemic. Remember the phase probably a few months after the pandemic when companies suddenly needed this massive funding needs. All the investment banking firms were working overtime on that. That turned into deal-making opportunities. And then you had the 2021 SPAC boom and whatnot. And that viral presentation out of Goldman Sachs and those junior bankers that really caused a stir in the industry. What happened back then, you had pay rises across all of Wall Street. All the firms were raising their base salary for their junior bankers. And these are kids right out of college who in their first, second, third year are standing to make $200,000, $300,000 at these firms. It's become part of the conversation again, because there has been an uptick in deal after a bit of a lull for a year, 18 months. And then there was an unfortunate incident at Bank of America where one of the junior investment bankers died, and people have tried to draw a connection between the reason for his death with the workload that he had. We don't know if there can be a direct connection established, but at least that has sparked conversation again. And you're seeing some of the result. The Wall Street Journal was just the latest news outlet to report on this fact that Bloomberg and everyone else has been talking about for a few months now. Everyone's talking about these rising workloads. There is tension and strain, and banks are being forced to respond. Here you have JPMorgan coming out with sort of trying to fix some hours for its junior bankers for the first time ever. Bank of America already had that, and it's trying to do a better job of enforcement. When you read the fine print, though, and when they talk about some exceptions, when they talk about, well, except when there are live deals, then you have to sit back and wonder. It's not that people were logging 80-hour weeks and 90-hour weeks and 100-hour weeks just twiddling their thumbs. They were probably doing it when there were live deals. So will this really change anything, or will we be having the same conversation 2 years from now?
Well, also, I was reading, I forget where I read it, but that higher banking officials will just tell their junior bankers, like, just don't log the hours. Like, work, but don't log it. Like, you get around the requirements, no?
And that's been a problem. Either people are working longer than the hours that they're supposed to and just to not get their bosses in trouble, which is a thing. They will try and log less than the number of hours they're working. In some cases, junior bankers will feel that they have to log more hours than they're working so that the very precious little spare time that they do have does not get allocated into some work. But we have to take a step back and wonder. And this has been a conversation in the industry for 3-4 decades, 5 decades, maybe longer now. There is a cultural shift that needs to take place, right? There has to be a better utilization of these hours. Oftentimes you have junior bankers responding to requests from their bosses and they're not hearing back until they come back from their dinner with their client, notice something minor or major, but suddenly say, fine, I might be looking at this at 9:30 p.m., but now that I'm responding to you, I want the fix in the next 2 hours, the next 3 hours, the next 4 hours. That cultural change is more important than figuring out how to cap these hours. And I don't know how you solve for that easily.